What it means to me is that if they create this currency backed by gold, Robert, this will be the largest transfer of wealth between nations we will ever see in the history of money.
Hello. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show, the good news and bad news about money. And today we're talking about real money, not this garbage here, not this fake paper stuff. And for those of you who have paid attention to my program for all these years, I just don't know why people work for this garbage. This is toilet paper. And we have an long-time friend, Kevin Demerit. He's a founder of Lear Capital, one of the largest precious metal firms. And I don't think he understands either. Why do people hang with the toilet paper? I don't know. So our program today is to kind of break people away from the idea that this is money. But anyway, they printed more money, and we never heard about it just recently. They printed so much more of this trash just to prevent the banks, because it was Silvergate and Silverado, and those banks were going down. They had to do something. So they basically took T-bills, where everybody thinks are safe, and they basically liquefied it. And now they're flooding the system more of this stuff. And the reason I'm on this point here is because I get into a lot of fights with friends and family and people like that, and they want to hang on to this. They want to save this. At the same time, the Fed and the Treasury are printing trillions. And we're hanging on to it. But I am Japanese. I'm not a white supremacist, which I'm accused of being also. But also, the Japanese are number one savers in the world. And what do they save? Yen and T-bills, US T-bills. I mean, Japanese maybe get admitted to Harvard and Princeton and Yale, but they don't know jack about money because they save yen. I would never save yen. I wouldn't even use yen as toilet paper. That's how bad it is. But the Japanese proudly save it, and the government prints trillions of it. So again, we don't make any recommendations. It's your choice. Do your own research. We don't make any recommendations. We should buy this or buy that or invest in this and that. But I guess as Kevin Demerit, we've been working together for years. It's Lear Capital. I got famous going because Kevin spent millions promoting me on all the financial networks. I've been going, buy silver. And my friends would come up and they'd say, you saying buy silver? I said, yeah, buy it. Did you buy any? No. So anyway, Kevin, we got the word out anyway, but people now thinking about it. And I think when we were telling the world to buy silver, I think silver was $2 or something. And today, yeah. 24 bucks.
Yeah, if the people would have listened to you.
This dollar has come down. And these guys are still saving this toilet paper or yen or pesos or euro. Anyway, welcome to the program, old friend Kevin McDermott.
Yeah, great to be here, Robert.
What do you think of my comment? Would you save the yen?
No, I wouldn't save the US dollar. I wouldn't save the yen. I wouldn't save any paper currency at this point. They've been printing money so fast, it seems to get worse and worse every year. And the dollar's going nowhere but down.
No. And it's getting worse. I mean, just recently, within the last 6 months, when Silverado and Silvergate, where those banks were, when they tried to stop inflation by raising interest rates, the bond markets collapsed. And when the bond markets collapse, so does the stock market collapse. And we have a baby boom generation, my generation, we're in serious trouble. Serious trouble because they're saving paper, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, things I wouldn't touch. I mean, you can do it if you like. I don't have to because I own the physical asset. I own the mines. I own businesses. I'm an entrepreneur. But so many people are being set up, Kevin. Don't you think so? I mean, my generation, not so much yours. Your generation still has time.
Yeah, they are being set up. And really, Robert, I look for tipping points. And the tipping point, when they really started printing up a lot of money, goes all the way back to the year 2000 when Alan Greenspan, after the dot-com bubble, just started printing money like crazy. People don't understand, but we had $5.6 trillion worth of debt in 2000. On balance sheet debt. And now we're at 33 trillion. What happens to real money when that happens? If you go back to 2000, the gold market was trading at $275 an ounce. Silver was about $3.50 an ounce. 2000, silver's $25 an ounce. We've added so much paper money, it's making the value of tangible assets worth much, much more. So That's what people have to get wrapped around in their head. Every time they print more of this paper money, that becomes worth less and the tangible assets become worth more.
And right now, the next hot new thing is that, what's that, AI, artificial intelligence. I did a talk at my friend Ken McElroy's event. Somebody said, "What is AI?" I said, "A college degree." you don't learn anything about money. I mean,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that was my poor dad, PhD. And I kept saying
yeah.
PhDs are for poor, helpless, and desperate.
Sure, there'll be apps to,
What's
there'll
that?
be apps to figure out how to invest, and that's going to tell you how to invest.
And then you go see a financial planner who is only rewarded by selling you paper.
Yeah.
Financial planner will not recommend gold or silver because they got no commission from it. Is that correct?
That's right. I mean, they don't want to recommend that, which is really sad because if we go back to 2000, I always use this example, and some people, agree with the time period, some people don't, but I like using long-term horizons. In 2000, if you would have invested $100,000 in the stock market, forgetting about dividends here for a second, today that'd be worth about $320,000. If you would have invested $80,000 in the stock market and $20,000 in the gold market, that's worth $385,000. You picked up $65,000 extra dollars in your bank account over that time period by investing just 20% in precious metals. Why? Because they print up more and more of the paper money, the fake money, and the tangible assets become worth more and more. I mean, look, you've lived it. You started this a long time ago with your education about real estate and precious metals. Those are tangible assets that have appreciated in value. You would have done very well by owning those and gotten away from that paper dollar.
Right. I'll just say I don't trust anything they can print. I mean, it's that simple. I own oil. I don't own Standard Oil or Exxon. I own the oil in the ground. I don't want anything they can print, but that's me. But that's what Rich Dad stands for. We don't recommend going to college and getting a college degree and then your PhD and then look for a job. I mean, oh my God. Especially today because, I've been listening to records and what's happening with AI. Unemployment's about to go through the roof. Records is calling for tens of thousands of people to be laid off simply because the economy is sliding into a recession, possible depression. And all the manufacturing companies throughout Europe and all that, they don't have jobs. They don't have any work coming in. And China, China didn't save the economy. So here we are in, August, July of 2023, and people are still going to school, looking for a job, saving money, putting the money in a 401k full of 401ks and IRAs and all this other, mutual funds and ETFs. Anything you can print, I don't want to trust, but that's me. I'm not recommending you do what I do. But that's why all these years I've been on Kevin's program saying buy silver. And of course, has anybody bought silver? No. They hang on to that yen.
Oh, yeah. They love that paper dollar. It makes them feel rich when you can look at it in your bank account. Really, I think that's the allure of everything. Hey, I see how much money's in my bank account. It's absolutely doing nothing. First, you weren't getting any interest. Now you're getting a little interest that's still below the rate of inflation. So it's not helping anyone at all. And, like I said, your education for people is so important, especially now with this AI and how much money is getting printed, that people really should start listening here.
And how many people will lose their jobs in a few more years? I mean, it's going to be massive. It's massive.
Well, I think it's going to be massive. And I'm just looking at our office building here, Robert, and about 25% of the building is completely empty. I just re-signed my lease for the same amount of money in my lease per square foot that I signed 8 years ago. They had to do that because any more people leave this building, the bank won't even refinance their loan going forward. So, right. They're just forced into lower and lower lease rates. But that gives you some sort of an idea. 25% of a building in the middle of Los Angeles is completely empty and they can't fill it up.
Well, they're all moving to Arizona. That's why. Kevin, I saw the light about 30 years ago when California tried to tax my worldwide income. And people don't know what that means because they don't have worldwide income. But if you're an entrepreneur, I have income coming from all over the world. And so they wanted to take all of that. I said, adios. And we left.
Oh, sure. Hey, not only that, if you leave the state, they want to keep taxing you after you leave the state. So, it's not a tax-friendly state at all.
And then I was looking at the homeless problem, and, I'm not Republican or Democrat. Trump and I wrote 2 books together. He's a good friend. But the thing that is amazing, this guy Biden Trump puts up a wall and Biden tears it down, and fentanyl pours across the border. And you wonder, why is homelessness going up? I said, most of those homeless guys, I mean, they're just on drugs. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's just a drug bazaar. And this guy, this Biden family, and they can't find his son's laptop. The FBI had their hands on it. What's going on, Kevin?
Well, hey, the funny one is, probably the White House has to be the most secure house in the entire world. And somebody shows up with cocaine and they can't figure out who that was.
I know.
I mean,
And what's funny, they got that little baggie of cocaine.
Right. Who brought it? I don't know. The most secure house in the entire world, they can't figure out who brought it in.
And nobody dusted it for prints.
Yeah.
When you think about this, we must be in sci-fi or someplace. We're in a bad movie, right, Kevin?
Oh, yeah, it is a bad movie. And, this money printing is going to continue. And the government has no choice but to print money. There's absolutely no choice but to print money.
That's all they know how to do.
Well, it's not only
they don't know how to make money. They know how to tax.
Right, Robert. It's not only do they not know anything else to do, but I'll give you an example. We'll have a fun game here, right? I'll prove to people you can't stop printing money as the United States or basically any other country. So you and I live on an island, and you're the banker because you're a smart guy, and you have all the money, and that money is 10 shells. So the whole island's money supply is these 10 shells. And I come to you and I said, Robert, I have this incredible entrepreneurial idea. You look at me and you say, that is unbelievable. I will loan you the 10 shells at 10% interest. I take those 10 shells, I spend it to start my business. At the end of the year, I get all 10 shells back and I come and I give them back to you and you put me out of business. Why? Because there isn't an 11th shell to pay you the interest. You as the banker have to print it up out of thin air so that I have the interest to pay you. That is what the government does in banking. They have to print more money. So that piece of paper that you keep holding up is absolutely worthless. It's going to get more and more worthless over time because you can't stop printing money.
Yes, right? But you should save money. Save money.
Yeah. Every dollar they print, that shell just became worth less and less and less.
Yeah,
that's where we're headed that people don't understand.
We're going to pay you 3% interest. Inflation's running at 6%. I mean, can you do the math? Let's say I'm getting 3% interest, let's say, and it's running at 6% inflation. What's wrong with the math?
Well, I'm happy I'm only going broke slowly. That's the problem with people.
I can't believe how effing stupid people are. I mean, I really mean that.
Yeah. And the CPI index is all messed up, so that doesn't even calculate things like taxes and the real thing.
Yeah, we don't use those words here. CPI is consumer price, inflation, basically.
Yes. So
we come back, we'll be going more into what I'm going to ask Kevin to talk about how he founded Lear Capital. Like I said, for full disclosure, I was a spokesperson for years. I got famous being on CNBC. Oh, by the way, I'll be on CNBC this Friday. Guess what I'm pitching? Gold and silver. I never stop, But I really would. Anyway, that's this Friday. This program will not be released yet. But I've been pitching gold and silver from Kevin DeMeritt and Lear Capital for years because, ladies and gentlemen, this is toilet paper. And it's becoming more and more toilet paper every single day. We'll be right back.
Today's show is sponsored by Gold Alliance. If you're concerned about high inflation, looming recession, a troubled banking system, or out-of-control spending in Washington, this is an important message to hear. Because the fact is, during every major crisis in U.S. history, many of those who failed to prepare watched their savings, investments, or retirement funds go down, while many with the foresight to own gold helped preserve their purchasing power. Gold even made some folks richer. Now we're facing several major crises at once, and experts say we may soon face even more economic trouble. So please don't wait. Learn the simple way you can diversify with gold and put yourself on the road to financial peace of mind, even in uncertain times. The new free 2023 Gold Guide from our friends at Gold Alliance can show you how. Just visit www.freegoldguide.com/Robert or call 1-800-473-4585. Republican Governor and conservative commentator Mike Huckabee says Gold Alliance is the only only gold provider he recommends to his friends and family. Find out why and visit freegoldguide.com/Robert or call now at 1-800-473